Good morning, good morning. I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on Kcaa, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. So excited to have you with us this morning. It's a Friday, and it's not only a Friday, it's Friday Fun Day. We have Adam Russell from City National, Community Bank. I can't believe I did that. How long has it been? Community Bank.
It's been 9.5 months.
Right?
Yeah, February 13th.
So, Community Bank and CSUSB's Jack Brown School of Business and Public Administration's Business Alliance. So excited to have you with us.
It's Friday.
Woohoo! Exactly.
Friday.
Oh.
Little on the Friday.
Oh, God.
What?
Exactly.
Wow.
So, it's all about the taxes, isn't it?
It is. Wow. Tax reform. And boy, is it reform. It's going to help a lot of folks. It's going to help businesses a tremendous amount.
Yeah.
Because when you take your tax rate from 35% down to 21% on the business side, that's an impact.
That's huge.
That's going to free up a lot of money. Now, the companies may choose to keep it. They could. They can keep it. They can do with it whatever they want. It's their money. They can increase dividends. They can hire more people. And people think of huge corporate America when they think of something like this. But when you're a small business owner, if your pre-tax income is anywhere from $100,000 to $335,000, your tax rate's 39%.
Yeah.
Okay, that's significant.
That's obscene.
You bring that one to 21%, and that's a C corp. Okay, there's C corp, S corps, LLCs. We can get in the weeds if you want, but basically, your C corp, the company pays the taxes. Your S corp and LLCs, the income flows through your personal tax return, and then you pay the taxes on that. And so the C corps are easy. That goes from down to 21%. That's going to free up a ton of money. And for small business owners, maybe they hire somebody or two people, or they're going to buy the computer equipment they've been putting off, or they're going to buy the truck or whatever it might be. For the business owners, they're going to take 20% of that income, and you're going to be able to deduct that. So it's not the biggest savings in the world for the small business owner, but it's significant. You take, so if a business owner had $300,000 pass through to their personal income at $300,000, they can deduct $600,000, becomes tax free than it was before. They have more money than they had before, and anytime you put more money in the system, something's got to be done with it. It's got to be saved or it's got to be spent.
So, I don't know if you've heard about this, but Andrew Cuomo is suing the federal government because of the inability to deduct state income taxes, because people are apparently going to be fleeing high tax states
think?
Illinois, New York, and California.
But, going to be?
Yeah, they are.
Going to be.
They
fleeing. Have been.
Yes.
That's why everybody goes to Florida. What was it, a few years back? Who was that golfer down in San Diego? Got in a heck of a lot of hot water for saying, yeah, well, I'm going to go to Florida. And, why? Well, there's no taxes in Florida.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. In Nevada, people go to Nevada because what supports Nevada? Gambling. Alaska, what supports Alaska?
Oil.
Yeah.
Okay. What supports California? Cricket. They kick every industry out except entertainment. Even entertainment, they have to do tax credits to get you guys to stay here.
Well, and when it's cheaper to film in Canada than it is in California, there's a problem.
Well, who wants to film in Canada?
It's beautiful up there.
I know it's beautiful up there, but
it's cold.
Oh yeah.
To me, that's a good thing. It was so funny because I was at I'm a member of a co-working space in Riverside called Mind and Mill, and one of the owners, it's a partnership. One of the owners walked up to two of us who were working together, and he said, "Okay, what's the temperature like in here?" And I said, "Well, I'm always hot, and it's hot in here." And the woman across the table from me, she said, "Yeah, I'm always cold, and it's cold in here." He's like, "Oh, it's perfect. Thank you." And he walks off.
So you mentioned the taxes running people out of states. I think the cold is starting to run people out of some of these states.
Well, but here, really, you have to think twice now. So you're watching the Rose Parade.
Yeah.
Okay, from, I don't know, anywhere else in the U.S., And you go, wow, boy, that looks great. 70, 75 degrees. And even for the Golden Globes, people could be watching that. For the folks that watch the show, they'll be on the red carpet. It's going to be 74, 75 degrees on Sunday. We may get rain on Tuesday. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, except we need some rain.
We do, absolutely. But it is, you come to the state. I mean, I looked at my own personal tax return. My total property taxes and state taxes came out to around, I think it was $11,000 or $12,000. So I'm going to lose $2,000 in a deduction on that. Also, too, but I think at the end of the day, if as a family, as a married couple, if you're making more than $150,000 gross, and that's not, oh, my salary is $150, and I then take out my 401k. I mean, if your whole thing, everything's in at $150,000, you'll probably benefit. Okay, if you make more than $150,000, you'll probably see your taxes increase.
Yeah,
your personal taxes. Because I did some litmus tests on that, and it's the tax rate drops a little, but you don't have the personal exemption anymore. But your standard deduction jumps to $24,000. My total deductions were $25,000, and so the standard deduction is $24,000. I may not itemize.
Right. How much is that going to save you on tax preparation?
Yeah, but I do my own because I encourage people to do your own taxes unless you got something tremendously complicated. Do your own taxes. That way you know what you're doing. At least in the old days, you really knew because you fill out the paper form. The old days.
Now you do TurboTax or whatever.
Exactly. H&R Block bought tax cut, I think, some years ago. But you have TurboTax, and they do it for you. But there's going to be some really interesting things that businesses are going to have to. Did you want to take a break? You looked at me like, no, it's not break time yet.
You know what? I actually don't have a lot of breaks to take today, and there's not a lot, so we can plow right through. I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Silicon Valley is going to find itself moving to Texas and to North Carolina and to other places.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
And then what happens to this state?
Let's not think about those things.
Yeah, that's scary, Aaron. You're scaring the listeners.
Yes.
Well, yes. I'm not trying to scare anyone. This is.
Okay, here's California. You have California, look around, you look at the weather, everything's included. It's a high price, but everything's included. You got the beach, you got the skiing, you got the mountains, you got there really isn't another state that's got what we have, but it comes with a price. And are you going to, for the people that are here, are you going to leave?
Well, if you work for the government, probably not.
No, you're not.
But if you work for anyone else, maybe.
Yeah, but I'm not leaving. I'm going to have to bury me in the backyard for the most part. We bought our house in '94. I'm fine. Now, what will cause the exodus is if somehow they repeal Prop 13.
Well, there's an effort to do just that.
I know. Absolutely. There's been efforts constantly. And I read all the columns by John Capal in the paper all the time, and he's obviously a big advocator for keeping Prop 13 in place. And you have to. Right now they want to target, it's just commercial businesses because, those commercial people make so much money. Well, too many freaking crickets.
Do you know how I've talked to so many people who say, Disneyland, they need to be paying their fair share. It's like, do you know how much Disneyland drives the economy in Orange County?
They own Anaheim.
They do.
Yeah, but the Anaheim City Council has gone after them a little bit because, in order to, Disney's been given so many sweetheart deals that the city really isn't getting the benefits, that they're having to do so much givebacks to Disney that it's really impinging on their ability to run their city.
Absolutely, but at the same time, Anaheim, I think, probably is in the same mess as every other city. That, hey, okay, we got these pension things coming up that we got to worry about. Yeah. Not that they ever worry about them, because in my mind, I don't think they do. It's out of sight, out of mind.
No, but they're looking for the big corporate partners in their cities to step up and and trying to renegotiate some of those sweetheart deals they gave them to get some money back for the cities.
Yeah. So. Will people move? People have already started moving. A lot of businesses have to stay here because their customers are here. They can move to Nevada. If you're a service business, you physically can move your company out of state. A friend of mine runs a security firm. She went to Colorado for 3 weeks over Thanksgiving. Her godparents are there. She said, let me see if I can run my business out of Colorado for 3 weeks. She went there. She says, yeah, I can. And so, next couple of years, her company will be there. Her employees will be here because this is her base.
Yeah.
But the company itself, will be in Colorado. She's not going to. Why would you want to pay, 7, 8, 9, 10% if you're making over, I think, 250 or 13%?
Yeah.
In additional taxes. You're what is it? 250, 225, 13% is $25,000-$30,000.
It's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's interesting too because our gas taxes are I think the highest in the nation,
that
and
too.
and now they're really pushing this per mile tax. And here's the thing: if they repealed the gas taxes, all of the state gas taxes, and just had a per mile tax, okay,
That's fair.
That's
That
fair.
is fair.
If they repealed the state income tax and only had higher property taxes, okay.
Yeah.
It actually makes budgeting easier on a state level. That's what Texas does because it's more
Right.
constant. Okay, that I could, but our state doesn't do that.
No, we get taxes from. They have a surplus again this year. Oh, what do we do with the surplus?
Well, but
maybe
they
you should have
don't
charged more taxes.
They don't have a surplus. We've got
No.
billions of dollars in unfunded pension
Oh, okay,
mandates.
that's true.
They don't have. It's like my credit cards are completely maxed, and I'm borrowing more money every day, but I
Let's
have a
increase the limit.
surplus.
Yes, let's increase the limit.
Yes. Well, there's one guy I saw a headline this morning saying that he was going to sue the state to refund us the quote unquote surplus, that they'd have to give
Yeah,
it back
good
to the
luck with that.
taxpayer. I know. The state always has something they can spend it on, as Aaron pointed out.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, but except that they need to be spending it on.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But they have their causes. But we know we can go. We can spend another hour on this and a few cocktails.
Well,
This
this is not an issue we can talk about today, I think. But
we can always talk about
it. But taxes on marijuana, my friend. I saw
That could-
an
that
article.
could rescue it, I tell
saw
ya.
no. I saw an article the other day about all the various taxes, state and local, and it's going to be amazing.
But-
You'll
but-
be paying 30 to 40% of taxes.
That-
for your weed.
But
from
that's
all the different-
stupid.
But all the different agencies are getting their piece of that
Oh,
pie.
sure.
But let me tell you why that's stupid.
Because you have a black market then.
Because there's already a vibrant black market
Yeah.
with multiple supply chains,
Yeah.
and there's a whole infrastructure for delivering weed under the
Yeah.
table. So if they want to make sure that the black market stays vibrant, let's just keep taxing.
No, the tax rate is like 25 or 30%.
Yeah, I was shocked when I saw all of the different levels.
Oh, you were not shocked.
I was
you were
shocked.
Not. Oh, he was
Shocked.
Shocked. Taken
Yeah,
aback.
he was. Yeah, I'm shocked.
Stunned. Man.
But it's going to make California rich, people.
No, it's not.
It's going to solve all of our problems.
No, it's
Just like it did in
not.
Colorado. It saved everything. Saved it all.
Well, I know business owners going to be moving to Colorado, so what can I say? But the tax thing is going to free up a lot of money. There's some things that businesses is going to be interesting to see how they handle. Before, business entertainment expenses were allowed to be deducted. Now they're not.
Wait, really?
Yes, really. So the country club dues. Oh, Thurston's coming to the door. Yes, they're getting rid of my country club due deduction? Oh, no. Oh, my. Thurston, come on, go back to the car. The Rolls is waiting outside. They are, you, as a business owner, you can't pay country club dues. And there's some business still do that. I mean, everybody,
Yeah.
a lot of business owners out here, over at Red Hill or what's the one in Riverside?
Victoria?
Victoria Garden, Victoria.
Or the
and they-
Redlands Country Club.
Sure, yeah, or Redlands, and that's part of their business expenses. Well, not anymore.
Well, can it still be a business expense? It's just not deductible.
It's not tax deductible. It can be on your standard. It's GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles deductible, but not on your taxes. So there's some things on there that impact that. How they there's going to be a lot of rules for LLC. Yes.
I do have a question.
Okay.
If you can't do country clubs, can you do gyms? And I say this because lots of companies, as part of their health benefits, will offer gym memberships to their employees.
Now, the Victoria Club Gym.
Right?
Well, sure. Why not? Why wouldn't you? Why? That's absolutely.
They
what
have a swimming
you would
pool
do.
there. I'm going to swim for my
That's
health.
right. Absolutely.
This is for my. It's a health benefit.
Yes.
They're just going to itemize it differently.
Yeah. Another big factor, and it really is impacting the larger companies, is if you have revenues of more than $25 million, your interest expense that you can write off is capped at 30% of your pre-tax income. Okay, so if you're a company that's got $25 million in revenue, $30 million in revenue, let's say you have $1 million in pre-tax income. Would not be unusual whatsoever. Okay, that's actually a decent pre-tax margin. It's okay. It's on average. Okay, and your interest expenses. Let's say you've got $10 million in debt. You own the building that you're in. You're $10 million in debt. 10 million, 1,100,000 is 1%. So you're paying $500,000 a year. Well, if your income before tax is $1 million, you can only expense $300,000 of that debt, of that interest expense.
Wow.
Now the other 200 can carry forward into the next year.
So it's still deductible, just not all this year.
Right. But that, it's it's an incentive to pay down your debt, which is not a bad thing. Now for the banks, hey, we like people to borrow. That's how we make money.
Right.
But just that, it's really going to, when as an MBA, when you do your corporate finance model, what is the impact of taxes?
So let me ask you a big picture question.
Sure.
Is this are banks and the banking industry, are they generally happy with this tax cut, or are they not happy? Are they looking at it and saying that this is going to create some disruption in their business model?
Our bank is they were pretty happy about this on the conference call a couple weeks back for a big reason is that we will see another $6 million go to our bottom line.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Just from a tax cut.
Well, we have 400 employees, 430 employees. I think we had net income of $30 million. Okay. This is all public.
Yeah.
So another $6 million. Where's that $6 million going to go? Are they going to give us all bonuses? No, probably not. Okay. Are they going to improve the infrastructure? Probably. The shareholders going to keep some. It's 90% of the bank's owned by the Cook family, which owned at some point Blue Book. That's kind of the history of Community Bank. They'll probably keep some of it too, because everybody likes to keep their money, right?
Indeed.
But then they keep that money. It's got to go somewhere, and that's why the stock market is kind of, I'm not going to say going nuts. It's built this. When you have that much more money going to your bottom line, you've got to do something with it. And also, too, your net income, your earnings per share has now jumped if you're a publicly traded business. If your PE ratio stays the same at 18, the stock has to move up.
So what happens to inflation?
Oh, it's kicking in. You're already seeing it. Price of barrel of oil, cost of a barrel of oil is now up to, I think, $60. Gold will start to move up. Yeah, it's just going to go up. They're looking at 3 increases this year for the Fed doing interest rate increases, and it's already up about 33% in the last 2 years. The prime used to be 3.25. It's now 4.5. Yeah, so it's gone up 1.25, 125 basis points. That's a significant increase in your cost of funds. Now, 3.25% to 4.5%. Yeah, if you're a small business with a $50,000 or $100,000 credit line, maybe it's $30-40 a month. Not a big deal.
So is this a time where people should start looking at bonds again? And I say this because bonds have been a terrible investment for a while. And is this, should people be buying bonds?
Yields, well, no. As rates go up, the value goes down.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is a key thing. And I tell this to, and you'll see it in a lot of the Wall Street Journal articles, is as rates go up, the value goes down. Because let's say I own a bond that's paying 3%. Well, now the equal bond now pays 4%. How do I sell mine? Well, I got to sell it at a discount to make up for that extra percentage.
Gotcha.
Okay, so as rates go up, it's an inverse. The value of the bond goes down. Now, if you're buying the bond just purely for the income and you're going to hold it to maturity, different story. And you'll see the bond go up and down throughout the 30 years, 10 years, whatever the maturity is, and you will get your money, and at the end, you'll get the full value back. Okay? But for the people that bought the bonds, 5 years ago at 2%, the 10 years now doing 2.5%. The 10 years stayed really, really level. Okay, and that's why mortgage rates have stayed low, because the mortgage rates kind of mirror the 10-year Treasury, and so you still have 15-year mortgage rates at 3.05.
Yeah.
Okay, and the 30 years at what, 4? 4.25 maybe.
Yep.
You know, that's kind of the last 5 or 6 years, 8, 10 years, it's been between 3.5 to 4, the 30-year rate, which is what keeping housing prices high. So, I mean, it really once rates start going up, now it's more costly, and you'll see this on the housing prices. You can't buy the same house because your funding costs more. Because when you get a loan, 28% of your income, the PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, really can't exceed 28 to 32% of your gross income. Okay, and so they talk about, well, this, if you're capping the mortgages at $750,000, your interest deduction, okay, but your income has to be to afford a loan like that. You're buying a house for just under $1 million, $970,000. Your income's got to be $185,000 to afford that. That's where they want to tax. They're not looking to tax the $50,000, $60,000, $75,000 dude. And there are some people that say, well, people are only saving $100 a month. You know what it does when you see an extra $50 on the end of your paycheck show up in March?
Yeah.
Wow. Now, I may have less money I may have more money come out of my paycheck in March. I don't know where the withholdings are going to be. I kind of did some back of the envelope stuff, but I think I'll end up paying more taxes. But we'll see. I don't know. Which is I tell people that's a good problem to have because I have business owners. There's a guy, one of my customers. God, we really got screwed on this thing. I said, well, how's that? Well, man, I'll be making $600,000 a year. Boy, did I get screwed. I said, well, that was the intent. It is not, they want to kind of, the middle class is, middle class. It's not $150,000, $200,000. Now, I know a lot of people, the $150,000, $200,000 income think, well, I'm middle class. If you upper 10%.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and we all like to think, our income goes up, our spending goes up, and that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, if you're making more than $150,000, you're in the top 15, 20% of Americans.
Yeah, but most places in America don't have the housing costs that we have here.
And exactly. That's why you have the lawsuit in New York. Oh, this is wrong. Well, you know what? It's not for the rest of the country. For the rest of the country to subsidize California and New York.
Right.
And that's really the argument. It's like, and that was the kind of the, oh, can I do that on TV? That was
it's the internet. It's okay.
That was, that's true. It's not TV. Don't glorify yourself, Adam. And that was kind of the, up yours that Washington gave California, New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm certain it was a little, yeah, I agree. Because they don't like Trump. They didn't vote for Trump. They don't like the Republicans. They didn't vote the Republicans. Okay, fine.
But at the end of the day, the average California worker is going to pay less taxes. I promise you that.
Yeah.
So really quickly,
Sure.
What do you have upcoming for the Business Alliance?
Business Alliance, we're going to have a meeting coming up end of this month, beginning of February. We're going to have an event. We're targeting April, May, probably early May, late April. I haven't figured out the speaker, but we're getting it back together. It's had the Director of Development for the College of Business and Public Administration, Jack Brown, got another assignment, and so we have a new Director of Development coming in for the college, and so there's been some transition there, but hey, people come and go. That change is constant.
It is, well, especially in the development world. People move around a lot.
God, yeah, they do.
It's just lots of transiency in that.
It's fun, change is good.
Change is good. So really quickly, we are at the end of our segment.
I'm
It is
exhausted
time
with
for a
no break.
So let people know how they can get a hold of you.
Best way for me is LinkedIn. Adam Russell, LinkedIn at Community Bank. Send me an in-mail as you do on LinkedIn, and I will reply to you back. If anybody wants to talk finance or talk business, love talking business. Also, for business owners out there, if you're going to buy a business, this is the year. It really is. Or if you're going to sell your business, this is the year.
All right.
Because the financing is available. And, if you're going to sell your business, you're going to get the multiples that you'd like to have.
Wow.
Adam Russell, as always, it is a treat to have you on
my
with us.
treat.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
2018. We'll see where the Dow is at the end of this year.
Oh yeah, no kidding. It hit an all-time high this morning.
It's, every day this year has been a record. Wow, what a pace!
Yes. Or is scheduled to hit it. I guess is it opening right now? I think it's opening right now.
It should be opening right now. The futures are up, though.
The futures are up.
Yep.
So I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
We are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We will be right back.
What if I told you you'd never have to make a house payment again? What if you could pay off much-needed home repairs and even create an income stream based on the value of your home? If you're 62 years old or older, you could be eligible for a reverse mortgage. Call Tim Harrison and find out if a reverse mortgage is right for you. Call Tim at 800-566-2475. That's 800-566-2475. Tim Harrison, branch manager, NMLS number 170960. Broadview Mortgage Corporation is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act. License number 170952. Registered with the Nationwide Mortgage Licensing System and registry number 813B544. Broadview Mortgage, equal housing lender. Remember, if you never want to make a house payment again, except for property taxes, maintenance, and insurance, that's 800-566-2475. That's 800-566-2475.
For several years, KCAA has been marketing the Youngevity brand of nutritional and personal care products. Our experience with Youngevity has been 100% positive, so we are pleased to recommend them to you. Regarding nutritional supplements, we recommend Pollen Burst in the berry flavor and Tangy Tangerine 2.0 in the tablet form. For regularity issues, we recommend 3-Day Cleanse, and for personal care, we recommend Morning Hydration Cream. You can shop online for Youngevity at www.kcaateam.com, or you can order by phone by calling 800-982-3197 and tell customer support that you are part of the KCAA team. Youngevity is an American company based in San Diego. Call Youngevity at 800-982-3197 and ask about monthly auto ship that allows you to buy Youngevity products at wholesale prices. That number again, 800-982-3197.
Enjoy all the benefits of green tea with Quantum Nutrition Lab's revolutionary and highly absorbable Green Tea PG. Buy 2, get the third one free. Call 888-588-7578 or visit us online at qnlabs.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob Marshall, PhD, host of Healthline. Tune in to get your questions answered and hear the latest breakthrough information for you and your family.
How would you like to have a large portion of your credit card debt completely forgiven, both the principal and interest? National Credit Card Relief wants to give you free information that shows you how. Thousands of people have used this program to have their credit card debt forgiven. So call now for free information and consultation. We'll give you the secret to this money-saving program absolutely free. Get eye-opening information that could save you thousands of dollars a year or a month, depending on how much you owe. In fact, the more you owe, the more you can save. All you need is $10,000 or more in credit debt, medical bills, or department store debt to qualify. Call for free debt forgiveness information now at 800-546-2909. That's 800-546-2909 to discover the secret to having your credit card debt forgiven. Call 800-546-2909. 800-546-2909. Don't wait. Call now. 800-546-2909.
This is KCAA.
You don't know me, but I'm your brother. I was raised here in this living hell. You don't know my kind in your world. Fairly soon the time will tell. You
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. I always learn so much when Adam's on the air.
Right.
It's just always a treat to have him joining us here on the on the Brink Morning Show on KCAA. It's like, yes, that's who we are. So Pharaoh's Lost Kingdom has been sold again, or Splash Kingdom has been sold again. They've had 4 owners since they opened in the 90s. I'm trying to remember exactly when they opened. It was like 1997 or something.
Yes.
But the new owners are kind of revamping things and fixing them back up, and it will have a totally new look by 2019.
Yeah, I'll be very interested to see what they actually end up doing with it. The big sort of thing in the article about it was that they're going to take the Pharaoh off the front of the building, right? And apparently they've already removed the sunglasses from Pharaoh, and they'll take down that whole front facade and revamp. The whole building will look different. And
do they think it looks campy or something?
I don't know. I mean, I think they want to appeal to adults as well as kids, and so I think that they feel like that Pharaoh on the front makes it look like just a kid's place.
Yep.
Right? And they want to create an event space where it sounds like they're going to have a restaurant inside where people will be able to come and get some food and have like some nightlife and do events. Right?
Sounds like fun.
So it'll be more like, I'm thinking, more like a Dave & Buster's kind of environment than just a traditional, kids' little amusement place.
But I think they're going to ramp up the water park too.
Yeah.
With more features for people of all ages.
Well, and there's several parts in the article where they talk about sort of creating sort of a Disney-like vibe or feeling, So I think they want to really put some money in and create some wow.
So are they thinking, because one of the best Inland Empire like full amusement park is Castle Park.
Yes.
Now, the smaller amusement parks, I love Fiesta Village. I will always love Fiesta Village.
Yes.
We had birthday party after birthday party for our kids as they were growing up at Fiesta Village. But the big with the rides and all of the fun, it's Castle Park in Riverside.
Yes.
But it's still a drive to get down there, right? So it would be, for people who live in Redlands, San Bernardino, Yucaipa, whatever. So to have something kind of similar to that in Redlands would be really cool.
Yes. Well, and I'm just thinking they've got to have some animatronic entertainment, and they've got to go to Garner Holt.
Well, indeed.
Right?
Hey, who else?
Yes. I mean, we need some singing bears, Aaron, with banjos. I'm just saying.
So, do you think that Garner Holt built the animatronic Trump?
I don't know. Oh, that would be a fascinating question.
Right?
Right? Now I kind of want to call over there and say, excuse me.
Well, and let's be honest. Have you seen it? It's the animatronic Hillary with a Trump hair. It looks more like Hillary than it does Trump. But that's a different topic.
Oh, my gosh. He has boobs?
No, his face.
He's wearing a pantsuit?
Well, he's wearing a suit with pants, but his face looks more like her than him.
No, I know. I'm teasing.
So apparently the owners are continuing to refine their plans and construction is getting underway, and operations at Splash Kingdom will continue. Summer passes for the water park are available for purchase, and the guests will see the first of many changes when it opens in May.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I hope that they do a better job of is promotion. Right?
Yes.
Because I often would hear about stuff that had happened there, but I never knew about it in advance.
That had happened there.
Yes.
That kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, and so like they would get, they've got a nice little amphitheater there, and they would get someone to come and perform, and I would hear about it after the fact. And I'm like, really? I might have wanted to go to that, but I didn't know it was happening.
Right.
And so,
and when you work in media and the press release doesn't come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's a little thing, but it's not a little thing. And again, I don't know any of the people who just bought it or the previous owners, but my previous experience has been that in the past, whoever those past owners were, they really didn't do a great job of marketing their stuff because oftentimes we didn't know about it, or if they were running some special deal on the passes or whatever. And sometimes I would hear about it. I teach middle school, and so my students would come in and talk about, oh, we've got these passes, we're going to go. And I might hear it through word of mouth. But none of the sort of formal mainstream media kind of stuff seemed to be coming out at all. I didn't see any of that. And I think you've got to. If you really want to be successful, you've got to spend some money advertising. You've got to let people know you're there and know about the specials and the deals you got going.
Well, I hope that whatever restaurant, if they want to attract adults, whatever restaurant they have, better have really good food because Redlands has become a culinary destination, a
It
regional culinary destination. So if they want to compete, it's going to have to be pretty darn good.
Right.
Wouldn't it be great if it were barbecue? And I say this because, you'd be on the freeway with your windows rolled down and you'd have that scent wafting up into your car. You'd be like, okay, I'm getting off at the next exit.
Right.
Anyway, I'm just thinking of what would attract people. That would attract people.
That would attract people. Better than the old smell they used to have next to that place, which was onions. Remember they used to have the onion fields right next to it?
Yes. Was it onions or garlic? It was onions. It was onions.
Yeah. But you'd drive by and your eyes would start to water and you'd be like, oh, those are
but those
onions.
fields are already gone.
I know.
There's been development there.
Yeah, no, they finally got rid of all those fields and put in warehouses and whatnot around it. But
As hot as it is here in the summer, that water park should always be packed.
Yeah.
I mean, and often it is, but that's a gold mine, especially this year. My goodness, if it were running this
Right.
year, it's still hot outside.
I would always go at least once a year with our 8th grade day, right? That's one of the big field trips the kids get to do at the end of their 8th grade year. And the kids look forward to it, teachers look forward to it. It's a fun place.
Yeah.
Carol's Lost Kingdom is a fun place.
One of the things that Fiesta Village does really well is attracting school groups and like
Yep.
Boys and Girls Clubs and Girl Scouts and, that sort of thing.
So just to compare, Fiesta Village, even though it's much smaller, does a much better job of marketing.
Yes,
right?
they do.
I mean, we would get the flyers from them at our school with the coupons. They did outreach to our ASB directors and had all kinds of specialty programs. We have, like you said, a Girl Scout group that would go there and do stuff, all kinds of things. And we've even had them on our show. I mean, they do that piece well.
And we love Fiesta Village.
We
Our
do.
daughter worked there for 2 years. We
Yes.
really love Fiesta Village. So let's see what happens with Splash Kingdom. I wish them well. I hope it should be successful. It's got great freeway access. There's lots of parking. There's the like I said, the water park and all the other fun things they have. So
Yep.
they should be successful.
They should be successful. Now, going from talking about this nice, warm, wonderful business out here in Southern California, we have got to talk about what's happening in the schools in Baltimore, Aaron. I was absolutely floored when I saw this story. Apparently, we've seen this big cold snap that's hit the whole country, but the East Coast in particular has been hit hard. And the story starts with a former professional football player named Aaron Mabin. He was a 2009 first-round draft pick for the Buffalo Bills. And apparently after he got out of football, he became a teacher in Baltimore. He went back to his hometown. He wanted to give back in the community he grew up in. And so he's now a teacher at Matthew A. Henson Elementary School. And he posted some pictures and some video of what's going on in the classrooms. And apparently it was 40 degrees. They came back from the Christmas break, and it was 40 degrees in the classroom. And these little kids, he teaches an elementary school class, these little kids are sitting there in their parkas, and the teacher's all, bundled up too, and the kids can't learn in that situation.
How
right?
do you learn in that situation?
Right, and apparently, what happened is that over the break there was nobody there to make sure the heaters were staying on, the pipes didn't freeze up, and so the whole place basically shut down. And so they can't come in on the first day back and get everything working. It's going to take some major repair jobs to get it working, and so the kids basically were sitting in freezing classrooms with no heaters. Right? I mean, ridiculous.
It's unacceptable.
It is unacceptable. And so he used his sort of personal acclaim, people know him, and put it out on his Twitter feed and his social media, and people are now talking about it. In fact, the very next day, the school district shut down the schools. They said, okay, you're right, we can't have the kids here until we get this fixed. And now the school district has put out a list of what repairs are being done and when they'll be done, and are trying to keep people up to date. But in his little video, they show him, and he asks the kids, what has the day been like for you today? And the kids all shout out, cold, very, 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 very cold, 40 degrees in the classroom. And then he talks to the camera and basically describes the situation. Thank God for people like that are willing to sort of stand up. And it's interesting, at the end, he's interviewed, and he says, a lot of people are angry, but now is not the time to point fingers. He's not about trying to blame this
Let's
school
fix
district.
it.
He says, we can blame people later, but right now we got to get these classrooms fixed so these kids aren't freezing.
So this quote, I have to read this quote. How would your kids concentrate if you sent them to school in a refrigerator for 8 hours with failing lighting? 2 classes in one room, he said. We tried our best as educators. They tried their best as scholars, but they are dealing with a lot already, and now they're supposed to learn in the dark and in the cold.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And my heart goes out to him. It really does. I can't even imagine being in a classroom that's that cold, trying to teach in those conditions. I can't even imagine it. And
needless to say, teachers and parents are pretty upset. And I'm sure, I'm thinking that they're probably going at the school board as well as the superintendent. And the school board, they don't, if they're like school boards here, they're not engaged in, day-to-day, physical plant kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think at the very least, that I don't know if the physical the whoever's in charge of facilities needs to be fired.
Yeah.
But this certainly isn't the first time that it's been freezing in Baltimore.
No.
You should have known that if you turn off your pipes when it's freezing outside, that a few of those pipes are going to break.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And here's another sad part of this. The teachers at the school have actually started a GoFundMe, Aaron, so that they can purchase space heaters and winter gear for students. Space heaters for the classroom, winter gear for students. And so the teachers are looking to do this based off of donations, so that they can get back in there.
So there's a little boy in this picture, Tobin,
Yeah.
who looks like he's just wearing a polo shirt.
I know. Well, look, some parents don't have the money to go buy the big coats, and the kids get hand-me-downs or whatever, and then their kids. Sometimes a kid will walk out the door without it, and if the parents are already at work or whatever, yeah, I mean, I've seen it. I mean, I see kids not that we get those kind of freezing conditions here, but I've seen kids on really cold, windy days show up in shorts and a T-shirt at my school, and I'm like dying for them. I am. I'm like, my gosh, get in here,
So with that, it's time for a break. I'm Aaron Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are on the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. We'll be right back.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, K292 FQ Riverside, and K293 CF Moreno Valley.
NBC News Radio. I'm Lisa Carter. The author of an explosive new book about the Trump White House is defending his work on national TV. Fire and Fury, Inside the Trump White House author Michael Wolff on NBC's Today Show this morning.
Not only is he helping me sell books, but he's helping me prove the point of the book. I mean, this is extraordinary that a president of the United States would try to stop the publication of a book. This doesn't happen.
President Trump is calling the book phony. Meanwhile, the president and Republican congressional leaders will be looking to the future today. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy are scheduled to brief Trump on this year's midterm elections. Many people waking up to a deadly storm that's pouring out snow, cold, and coastal flooding as it marches up the East Coast. At least 5 deaths attributed to the storm. More than a foot of snow fell on parts of New Hampshire and New York's Long Island yesterday. Lisa Carter, NBC News Radio.
It's time for your KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3 traffic report. I'm Aaron Brinker. In Corona on the 91 westbound before McKinley Street, a motorcycle crash is blocking the left lane. There's some stop-and-go traffic backed up from Magnolia. In Corona on the 91 westbound before the 15, a large wooden debris is in the left lanes. This has been your KCAA traffic. We are the stations that leave no listener behind. I'm Aaron Brinker.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm Rod Tanner. For this Friday morning, we expect a mostly sunny day to wrap up the week with a high of 74. Yesterday, partly cloudy tonight with a low of 50. Moving into the first weekend of the year on Saturday with partly sunny skies at a high of 76. Partly cloudy conditions Saturday night, a low of 50. Sunday looks mostly sunny, our high 75. There's a slight chance for showers on Monday, our high 71. I'm Rod Tanner, broadcasting live from the Tri-City Center with the 10 and 210 freeways. We are the trifecta of talk in Southern California. KCAA 102.3 FM Riverside, 106.5 FM Redlands, and the Legacy, 1050 AM Loma Linda, San Bernardino.
Hi, it's Jan Elliott in Snow Country, and the equation is pretty simple. Glistening snow plus sunshine and good times equals your time at Mountain High, where they've got close to 10 open trails. Also, skiing and riding under the lights on West Mountain up until 10, and lots of freestyling fun as well. All at Mountain High. Snow Summit reporting about a dozen trails, Bear Mountain as well, and they're both reporting machine groomed snow up to 42 inches of base. At Mammoth, 121 trails picked up a couple of inches of snow on the groom this week. At Bear Valley, 3 trails open, machine groomed to pack powder there. Sugar Bowl reporting over 20 runs, Squaw Valley over 40. And if ski plans are taking you into the Rockies, Crested Butte could see some snow over the weekend. In the meantime, those 77 open trails and all 13 lifts are turning. More details are at snowcountry.com. I'm Jan Elliott on the trifecta of talk, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM, the stations that leave no listener behind.
Hi, everybody. Ray Lucia here with some important information about debt, your debt. Whether you have a first or second mortgage, you're looking to buy or refi a home or rental property, or just need to consolidate your credit cards to lower your payments and save some serious interest, you need to do some loan financial planning with Steve Alladort, my mortgage man, at loanfinancialplanner.com. Now, Steve's not your garden variety mortgage broker. He actually spends time evaluating how you can use the current super competitive interest rates to pay off your mortgage early, purchase a rental property, improve your cash flow, upgrade to your dream home, or even help your kids or grandkids get into a house. That's what loan financial planning is all about. Steve's been helping me and my listeners for over 2 decades, and I can tell you he is the best finance guy in the business. Go to loanfinancialplanner.com. That's loanfinancialplanner.com.
Or call Steve Alladort at 888-563-1070. That's 888-563-1070.
KCAA, where every day is a great day.
I want you to know that I'm happy for you. I wish nothing but the best for you both.
Welcome back. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA AM 1050, FM 106.5, and FM 102.3. And if you have insurance with Kaiser Permanente, you have been getting text messages and emails and robocalls that if you've got the flu, stay home. Expect longer wait times, everything, because the press enterprise is saying that the flu is reaching epidemic levels, and in my opinion, everybody I know has had it, or has it now.
Yes, and it's bad.
It's bad. I said everybody, most of the people I know.
Yeah, and what the problem is that people overreact when they get the first symptoms of the flu, right? Because they're hearing all the stuff in the media about it, and they want to rush into the hospital because they're sure that they're dying and that the hospital is going to be able to do something for them. Well, first off, unless you really are dying, they're not going to be able to do something for you, right? And they're trying to give very clear guidelines about when you should or should not come into the emergency room. So the emergency rooms are getting jammed, and then other people that are there for other things are now being exposed to the flu. Right. So you're actually spreading it to people that are already compromised because of whatever.
So they came in because they had an auto accident or because of whatever, broke a leg, whatever, and now they're getting the flu too.
Yeah. But some of the numbers on this are pretty spectacular. The increase in emergency room visits and people using ambulances and things like that. So ER visits for flu symptoms went from 1,800 people in between December 17th to 23rd, and then it went up to 3,400 between December 24th.
That's in Riverside County.
Riverside, between December 24th and December 30th. Just a big jump. It almost doubled.
So in intensive care unit visits due to flu-like illnesses in Riverside County, there have been 19. And there are no numbers for San Bernardino County in the article.
Yeah, but there was a 31% increase. Right? In ambulance transports. I'm sorry. I'm going to get my statistics mixed up here. So people are calling ambulances because they've got the flu. And so this is putting a real strain on our medical resources. And in most cases, they're just going to tell you go home, drink fluids, take the over-the-counter meds. Manage to make sure that keep your temperature down, try to, manage at home. Because that's really what you got to do. With the flu, you've really got to manage the symptoms.
Yeah, there's really not much you can do about it except sleep. And when they say drink lots of fluids, like you can't drink a solid, I get that. But they say drink especially water.
Yeah.
I mean, just constantly hot tea, hot soup, like a broth soup, not a cream soup. Anything that's going to put moisture into your body. So, replenish the water that your body needs.
Yeah.
Because you're going to run fevers. Now, when you should go to the emergency room is when that fever gets high.
Yeah.
So if you're getting above 102 or 103, I wouldn't go to the emergency room quite yet, but I'd certainly call my doctor.
So here's how you can help everyone else. Don't go to work. Don't go to places where there's lots of other people. If you're sick, stay home. Seriously. I mean, the stuff spreads because people say, "Oh, I've got to go to work today." And then they go in and they get everyone else at work sick.
Yes.
Right? And
or if you have to go in, because there's some jobs, Tobin, where you'll be fired if you don't go in. Wear a mask.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I work in a profession where it's essentially a giant petri dish. I teach middle school, right? And so I'm actually a little nervous about going back to work because I know a bunch of these kids are going to come in sick, and they're going to be coughing and sneezing all over each other and all over the desks. And my district actually does a really good job of making sure we've got lots of hand sanitizer. And we actually usually do a thing with the kids. We talk to them about making sure that they cover their mouth when they, have to cough or sneeze, and that they, we provide all the stuff. But still,
so I'm going to buy you a can of Lysol,
right?
And you're going to spray your doorknobs, and you're going to spray anything that the kids touch. So like everything,
yes.
After every period.
Yeah, right. I mean, but that's kind of the life I'm going to live for the next couple of weeks here, because I am concerned. I am concerned, and I've seen it happen before. One kid comes in, and then it just spreads. So
now it says here that the flu can last 2 weeks. I had it longer.
Yeah.
For me, it was 3.5, 4 weeks, and then I still had that lingering cough, and so sometimes it takes longer. Now I have a rotten immune system. I just do. And that's but I'm not the only person who people are putting on Facebook. Oh my gosh, it's been 3 weeks.
If you have the high fever that lasts for multiple days and you can't get it go down, go to the emergency room.
Yeah.
If you're having real trouble breathing, right, like your lungs are compromised, go to the emergency room. But if you just have the normal sort of flu symptoms, I mean the aches and the pains and the low to moderate fever, don't go.
Well, and here's the thing too with this flu, because I had it. This is my experience. I cycled with the fever, so I would have a fever and then I wouldn't. Like it would break the next day, I'd be fine, but then I'd spike another fever, and that's not the same as running a high fever straight through.
Yeah.
Because or one that doesn't get better with the medication. So, treat the fever, bring it down, sleep, and drink lots of water.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you got big plans for the weekend, and you're not feeling well,
cancel them.
Yeah, it's okay.
Nobody at the party wants to be around Typhoid Mary.
Right.
I'm just saying.
And it's scary. It's scary. I mean, we're going to see a lot of folks. I think they're going to die from this. I mean, and that's the scary thing.
It's interesting because I had to use, I have asthma, but I don't like using inhalers if I don't have to. But I have an inhaled steroid, and I have been having to regularly use, which you're supposed to do, use that inhaled steroid to clean out my lungs.
Yeah.
So if you've got asthma, be careful. Just be careful. Use the medications that your doctor has given you. So with that, we're at the end of our show.
Oh, happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. I'm Erin Brinker.
And I'm Tobin Brinker.
And we are On the Brink, the morning show on KCAA. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Here I stand, empty hands.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Chuck Hamlick, CNBC. Wall Street hopes to stretch its 2018 winning streak to 4 days. Stock futures are higher this morning. Companies hired fewer workers at the end of last year, 148,000 jobs created. The unemployment rate was steady, 4.1%, and worker pay up 2.5%. Meanwhile, the trade deficit hit a record high because we bought more imported goods. Americans are also drinking more Modelo and Corona beer. Constellation Brands profits up 21%. Billboard says Jimmy Iovine could leave Apple Music this summer, 4 years after Apple bought Beats Music for $3 billion. Iovine's departure would come as his stock vests. Meanwhile, Apple is updating its software to deal with a glitch in Intel chips that puts phones and computers at risk to hacking, even Apple's. GoPro cutting 200 to 300 jobs in its drone department. And the Mega Millions jackpot tonight, $445 million. That's the fourth largest prize ever. Chuck Hamlick, CNBC.
I'm a squeaky toy, and I've got one job, getting chomped on by this little ankle sniffer. So pardon me for feeling inept compared to Geico, who does so much more. Like while I'm getting slobbered on, Geico is creating cool technology like their mobile app, which lets people pay their bills or file a claim. Plus, Geico is the fastest growing auto insurer for the last 10 years. Is it too much for me to ask for one more feature? Fast and friendly claim service like Geico, maybe? Oh, great. I'm getting buried again.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
At Discover, we believe anniversaries should be a time of celebration, not obligation. That's why we think annual fees are ridiculous. And now, just for giving us a try, we're going to give new card members a one-year anniversary gift they'll never forget. At the end of your first year, we'll match all the cash back you've earned dollar for dollar. No caps and no catches, because we know if you try us, you'll like us. And that's worth every penny. Try it and believe it at discover.com/match. Cashback match offer only for new card members. Limitations apply.
And now, the Inland News Update with Blake Trolley.
A section of Palmdale